Well, that's a game we're probably going to want to forget in a hurry. Losing 5-0 here at Boston Town. It was a game which reminded me a bit of the Harrowby game in the sense that we were always in with a shout, but once they started putting the goals away, it just seemed to go away from us fairly quickly.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it does bring back unwanted memories of Harrowby, and I'm having to sit here again and apologise to the supporters for that. And it's happened again, and I have to have a look at why does that happen again. How can you play with so much spirit and tenacity and courage and heart and stuff, against Newark and Skegness. Not a bad performance on the Tuesday against Yaxley, and then throw up that. And they're on a crest of a wave. They're the form team in the league. I think that's in the last 7 they've won 6 and drew 1. And I think Chris has done a brilliant job, and fair play to them. I think the way in which they're organised, they have a set game plan, they know what they're going to do. I think they've got really good energy in the middle of the park, and they're no nonsense. And Jordan Nuttall, Harry Lim were a thorn in our sides all game. And they, as a two, when they're at it, they're very, very difficult to handle. And but you also don't help yourself out in terms of conceding poor goals. And the first goal with, twofold really. We've missed a first contact, a second contact, and then Harry Lim's got the freedom of Boston in the 6-yard box. And then I think after that we started to get a little bit of a foothold in the game, and created some, I don't know whether chances, but half chances. Their keeper made one decent save, to be fair, from Sam Bennett. And then obviously we conceded the second goal when we were on the attack, which reminded me that sort of goal would probably happen, or you'd be disappointed if it happened in an under-10 game. And then, kind of regrouped a little bit at half-time, tried to sort a few things out, and then, it'll probably remind me for a while, Luke Wilson scores an absolute worldie with his left foot. And I think there's like a little bit of kind of luck in the fact there's a few ricochets that just came to him, but it's a great strike and fair play to him. But, but you make your own luck, essentially. He kept going, he stepped in, and it was a really good finish. And then we played some snippets of decent football where we got in behind, but then we make poor decisions on the ball. And that's if you make poor decisions in both boxes, you're going to concede a few, and you're not going to score too many. And that was the case today. And look at the fourth. Was it not, whether it's contact or not, giving the referee a decision to make. And then the fifth one's a free header, where we've got to do better at stopping crosses, and it's got to be more personal if you let a cross come in the box, or if you don't pick up your man, etc. That's just fundamentals of football. And I said to the lads in here, it's not ability. I don't think on the whole it's been work rate, but I think it's mentality. You can't have 2 results like we did against Skegness and Newark and then turn up here today and think it's just going to happen. And that's fundamentally, for me, what I feel like's happened. And, a few results went for us, a few results didn't. But, you keep throwing up that every week, you're going to get drawn back into stuff. And by no stretch of the imagination are we out of it yet. We've got, 8 games left now. We need to try and maximise the amount of points that we take. But we've got to find a formula where we're a little bit more compact. I look at it and I go, right, I made changes today, but I made changes against Skegness, I made changes against Newark. So there's lots of things that you could excuse, but fundamentally, if you're not good enough in both boxes, you're not going to win football matches. And if you don't make it personal enough, you don't want to stop a goal enough, you don't want to score enough, and these aren't things individually, these are things collectively, because essentially, you defend together, you attack together. And, you know, I said to the boys, are you fit enough? Are you strong enough? It's not, are you technically working on anything? You know, might be step 5, but my mentality is for the group and for the football club, whether you're if you're an individual at this football club, you do what you can away from the club and at the club to become a better football player. That then means twofold. One, either it's firstly success for us, and then if you're actually enhancing yourself that much, you know, it might mean that you get a promotion either with us or going to another football club at a higher level. And that's what I want in my squad. Players that are ambitious to either do as well as they can for this football club to get it to the best position it can, or move on to a higher level. And you only can do that if you've got the right mentality as an individual. And at the minute, the facts of the matter are I have to question that a little bit collectively. And they need to reflect individually. You know, again, I will always reflect on what could I have done better to support the team. But none of those goals today were due to anything tactical. They were due to mentality switching off. That would be my conclusion. And you know, I feel for the supporters because they turn up and they're probably thinking, what we're going to get today, and that's definitely not what I want. And you know, week of training now, dust ourselves down, and another tough game against Belper at home on Saturday. You know, had a good result the other week and against Lincoln United. So we just got to be, you know, fundamentally got to be at it from minute 0 to minute 95, 96, and the lads have got to see this. This is something they get paid for, and they've got to see it as a second job. And if they're not willing to treat it like that, or have the mentality of that, then when you're not doing your job, you know, you have to have conversations with people. And that doesn't just go for the playing staff, that goes for the management staff, including myself. And yeah, we just got this. That's really disappointed me, and I'll always be open and honest about that. And I think when I come on these interviews, that I give a balanced view of what's happened, both for and against. And you know, did I think it was a 5-0 game? Probably not. Could it have been more? Probably. And that's just due to lapses of concentration. Sometimes things not falling for us, and sometimes, you know, naivety, poor play, not reading the game, etc. So, yeah, it's a real disappointment one today. You know, 5-0 is always that's a tough one to take. But we've got to stick together. We've got to have a good week of training, and nothing we can do about it now. We don't get too high when we win games, and it's important not to get too low when you lose games. And obviously still searching for that consistency. So yeah, again, poor one today, and apologies again to the supporters. Yeah.